what about your tiny little collectibles that you have? Well, so here's kind of an interesting area. Okay, say you have a Star Wars figure, right? You have your Star Wars figure from the original Star Wars. So yes, this is my figure from 1977, I think it is, and probably someone on there is going to tell me that it's a different year, but it looks to me like it's pretty early. But this is from when I was a kid. And so now here's where it's sort of an interesting gray area. So you have this, and then you have this, which is, this is from Episode 1, Star Wars Episode 1, and now this is sort of counterproductive. Oh, hey, Roman. Hey, Denise. This is sort of counterproductive because it's in the original package, right? Now, the problem is that it will continue to have value if it's in the original package, but technically that's not as good for the artifact as if you separate it out from it. But in the interest of nerdom everywhere, you know, in this case, you know, keep it in the original package because that's the way that it was packaged to you, and you want to keep it that way. But what you can do is you can wrap this itself, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So how do I store this? Okay, well, you have a couple things you can do. Okay, you have this. You have unbuffered tissue paper that you can buy. Again, at these universal, at the Gaylord products, you have unbuffered tissue paper. These are inert, acid-free, all that sort of thing. You have polyester batting that you can use, okay? And so, for the interest of this particular conversation, what you do is you can just wrap this in the archival acid-free tissue paper. Just give it a good, nice wrap. Wrap it up so gently. And then you can usually store it. And again, I realize this is more than a lot of people are willing to do or want to do, and that's fine. I'm just showing you something that you can possibly do. And then you can store it. These are actually acid-free, again, there's that word, acid-free archival boxes that you can get at all these places that I mentioned earlier. And again, I'll put all these links in here. So, you know, and then you could store it in there, and you could place other ones alongside this. So you might have several of these, and you might sort of go alongside. So that's a good way to store those. Acid-free, out of light, out of, you know, not in the attic, but in the house proper, if you can possibly do it. Another option, okay, let me take this out. Sorry, sand person. I hope I don't offend the sand person here. You can have batting. You can actually put them in the batting itself, okay? This one maybe not as good as the paper because these have little things that can sort of come off on it, but that's okay. You can put it in the batting. You can either wrap it, or there's actually different kind of polyesters and materials that you can use to cut in, and let me show you that as well. What am I talking about with that? Well, let me pull this up if I can. Okay, so here's materials that you can get, and these ones, these are all inert and acid-free, and you can get, and this is a little bit harder, and you can carve into them, and you could place individual pieces like this. So, well, basically what I'm saying is I would not recommend just using the material that you would find at, like, the foam material that you'd find at a regular store that you might say. I would recommend not using those because they're probably not archival. I would recommend getting the foam material from an archival store and then cutting it in and putting it in individually. So that's another good way to do it. This one's good because it's custom made to each piece, and you can, you know, they're not going to float anywhere, and they're not going to be damaged. If you have an earthquake, it's going to be a lot better off.